Hi guys, Squall here. Welcome to another Transport Fever 2 video. There's a lot of twos in that sentence, wasn't there? Hope you're enjoying yourselves, and don't forget to sub if you're new here. We are still on that goal of getting $1 billion. We kind of keep floating up to like 700-800, and I tend to invest a lot of money in some things, so we've not quite reached $1 billion yet, but I'm pretty confident we will. You can see I just splashed a load of cash on some terraforming, so anyway. Don't forget, if you're already subbed, great. Don't forget you can also become a YouTube member if you want to take that next step and get some free emojis and support the channel and join the family-friendly Discord server and all that good stuff. And don't forget at the end of the video, give me a like if you're really enjoying the content. Now, we're on hard mode. The video description does contain details of the map if you want to play this map and play with all the mods I'm using today. In the last video, we set this up. We set up our first airline. Our airline is moving plastic from north to south and then bringing goods on the way back. So, you know, it's getting paid both directions. And as you can see, even though it is, nowhere near full, it is starting to rake in some pretty good money now, as expected. I mean, 6 million income on a, 1.5 million expenditure. If we actually have a look at the line itself, that's the finance for the line right now. It's not at capacity, but it is making good money. As expected, because if you get paid in both directions, it really is gravy. One thing just to keep an eye on is just check on what's happening with, as you build up these new industries, go back and have a quick look at the suppliers, because you can see this is going to level up, so we may need more trucks on this. And the net effect of that, of course, will be, he's leveled up, he'll probably level again, might become starved of crude at some point, not yet, but will. Certainly when it goes to its third level, you need to bring that other crude online. It won't have enough. This will not be able to bang out enough crude. Basically, because it is 2 into 1, this has 4 levels and that has 2 levels. As soon as this goes to the third level, you need that to supply it. This oil to plastic is 1 to 1, of course. Now, this has 8 levels to go through, so whether we can keep up with the demand for this remains to be seen. The plastic is starting to accumulate steadily. Another thing to keep our eye on, because we may have to start training that over at some point. It depends. It largely depends on what year you're in, because, as you get more advanced in the years, you get more capacity in your vehicles, so you can start to get articulated trailers, and they, have a pretty decent capacity. Whereas in the early days, when you're carrying like 10 items, you really can't scale very easily. So it largely depends on what year you're in. So anyway, what are we doing today? We're going to refocus on the passenger stuff today. We did a lot of industry in the last episode, and we're going to just spot that there. How many trains have we got? 3. Do we need 4? Yeah, they're only 8 long, those things, aren't they? Those box cars. Hang on 1 second. I've just spotted this. Let me just add some more on the back of this. What do you want? Box cars. So we need to bring that up to full length, just to make sure we've got the capacity. If you see things like that on your line, just go in there and sort them out there and then. There we go. That should help a little bit. We're going to sort out passengers this time. We've got a lot of pent-up demand for packs. It makes itself known in different ways. The obvious one is when you start to see huge queues like this. The other one is when you go looking, so you sort of click on the destinations and you start to see numbers like 400, 400 passengers taking private transport. Where are they going? Well, they're pretty much going in both directions, but mostly they're going to Lee, as you can see here. You can also click on the city itself and have a look at destinations, just see where people are going. You can see they're going shopping in Lee, for example. They're going working in Lee. Lots of people are going working in Bradford. Where's Bradford? Bradford is... where have you gone, Bradford? Crikey. Actually, where is Bradford? 1 second. Let me just click on it. There. Sorry, there's Bradford. Duh. They're going shopping and working in their own city, and we're moving people around. The line usage is only 7%, though, which means we might want to think about what we're doing in our public transport, because we're obviously not catering towards... You can see a lot of private traffic is coming in this way and coming through there. So what's actually happening, by the look of it, is people are coming to work and shop here in Bradford, but they're coming from Lee and other places, and they can't get here by public transport very easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to knock all this on the head. We're going to link Bradford and Lee. That's a given. Just to set the scene, I've elevated the alcohol line, as I'm calling it, a little bit, and put this bit of track through because we're going to need to bring through Lee down to Bradford. Then I think what we'll do is we'll then extend Lee line out and take it up to Mitcheldean because it's quite an easy victory. And if we actually look again at the destinations layer, we can see there's plenty of people moving between Mitcheldean and Lee, so that makes sense. And then to connect to everything else, you know, it kind of gets a little bit more tricky from there on because Romsey, as we kind of spotted before with the train station, Romsey has this road in the way, and then it has all this gubbins in the way. We can't really start tearing the oil sector apart, so we either don't connect in or we elevate something. Now, I would love to just elevate the goods line and keep the passenger flat on the floor, but that's not going to happen in this case because this distance is too short. What we can do, though, is we can perhaps, you know, look at sinking this road down into a tunnel just to give us a gradual elevation out of Romsey. In terms of destinations, well, I think we should probably bring Romsey down to Bradford. That way, Bradford acts as a hub to go from up to Mitcheldean or more northbound up towards Romsey. And Romsey then links onward into Loughton already. You know, Thatcham could be brought in, or we could leave it as a branch line. We could, in theory, bring Thatcham probably down to Aylsham, but it's a bit of a windy path. We can also bring Aylsham into Romsey. There's plenty of options at the end of the day, but let's crack on. What we want to do is I've extended the platforms here, built another platform section with some high-speed track on the end. So the first thing we're going to do is come into this platform here and we'll start linking into this. We're going to have, let's see, how many, hang on, before we do that, do we want to come down towards Sandhurst? Because if we do, we might need even more platforms. That's all I'm thinking. Sandhurst, let's have a look at the destinations on Sandhurst. Actually, Sandhurst is completely isolated. So the answer to that is yes. I remember now, Sandhurst is completely cut off from the world. So yeah, we will link Sandhurst into this, which means we're going to want to have it as a... Depends how we want to do it. Do I want a shuttle between here and Bradford? Probably. Yeah, we don't want to make the lines too long. So a shuttle there, and then a shuttle here seems to be the way to go, doesn't it? So yeah, in that case, what we'll do is we'll take this outside one. This can be the Sandhurst platform. And we'll bring it all the way down here and see what it thinks about this. Let's put that into there. Now, at the moment, there's no connections whatsoever. So I'm going to move that to there. And then we're going to have a quick look and see what's going on. We've also got, I've noticed, we've unlocked another type of bridge now because of the year we're in. We've got this cement bridge, which is quite a high-speed bridge and quite a clean look, which I quite like. If you don't fancy getting the girders anymore, you've got that option available. What are you in 1975? I reckon we got that in about 1970, something like that. So we'll build that, and then we'll come back up here, and we will split the line out from about there. And oh, doesn't like that, does it? It's coming that way. There we go. And then we'll come back this way. Making sure that it's using the same bridge. And it hasn't got a bit janky on us, as it sometimes does. Right, it's in the middle of autosave, so I'm going to wait a second before I click. There we go. And then, now we may as well just diamond intersect that. So we'll come from there. We'll do it that way. Right. I don't believe there's a depot on that line. No, there isn't. So what we'll do is we'll just stick a depot down here because we're not going to build down here anyway. So we'll have a depot down here out the way somewhere. Actually, thinking about it, will we ever use that? There is an oil there. Will we ever? We may well use that. If I put a line here, it could compromise something coming in that way. Okay, we'll not do that. What we'll do is we'll build a depot out of town. Actually, yeah, we'll punt it out here somewhere. this is already being used, so we'll stick it there. Again, always try and forward think what you might want to do. The worst thing is basically making problems for yourself later. It's a real pain when that happens. So let's stick some signaling down. We've got this section of track. We're on auto sig, and we'll click there. That will line all the way down here, which is just before the diamond, which is lovely. And then coming back, it will of course stop when it gets to this junction. So we need one just before the junction, and then one after like that, and that completes that. So then we want the Sandhurst to Bradford rail line. So we're going to go rail Sandhurst Bradford packs. Yeah, we'll make you a nice, very lime green colour. Click on the packs platform. Click on that packs platform. That should define that. Now we've got buses coming in here already to take people around town, so that's not a problem. Do we have the same down here? No, we don't. Right. Oh, what's this? Okay. There's something rather hilarious going on here. Not quite sure why it's doing that, but what I might do is add another bus stop perhaps there and just adjust the line so after there we go here, because that's just a bit weird. So I think what we'll do is we'll define a new line. We'll go Sandhurst train packs, something like that. So we're going to get people over to the train station, and we will go from here and just looking where we want to actually stop. I think what we'll do is we'll stop opposite that one. And then we'll go, we've already got one there. We'll stop opposite that one. And then, yeah, we'll come this way. Do you want to go straight back that way, or do you want to go a slightly different direction? No, we'll keep it quite, we'll keep it quite tight, as it were. Like that. Because these stops are within walking distance of each other. So packs will, and we'll go there. There you go. That gives them a couple of alternatives to get around, and also means we've got clockwise and anti-clockwise going on, and they can always swap over at these bus stops if they need to. We might have to adjust the bus routing here at some point. Let me just quickly check on this line how many vehicles. We've got 4 of those. Is that enough? I'm thinking we'll just add one more, and then we'll get passenger. We'll get. Oh, we've got the MANs now, haven't we? Forgot about that. They go 80 Ks as well. Blimey, they fly around. Still, for round town, these are still pretty good. But for going to and from the train station, maybe we'll get some of those. These are real kind of intercity type things. And then we want... okay, why are you not showing up? Did I just do something wrong? Sandhurst to Bradford. Oh. I haven't defined the line. I thought... yes, it did. Sandhurst train packs. What's going on? It's orange. I was getting completely mixed up. It's that one we want. There we go. So that'll get people around there. So the next thing we want to do is just put on a PAX train just to get people moving. Now, I think, you know, we have got, again, a lot of options here, but I quite like chucking 1 or 2 of these in initially just to get the line going. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll go for the Sandhurst to Bradford PAX line. Is that the line? Yes. It wasn't highlighting it. Anyway. Okay, let's just see what happens. Yeah, that's fine. I couldn't see it highlighting the line, so I was getting a little bit confused. Come on, you. Come out of here. I want to change your colour. There you go. You're lovely lime green. Right, so let's get that established. That will get going in a minute. The buses will start flowing. PAX should hopefully start appearing here. That'll lose some money, and then it'll start gaining money. While it's doing that, we'll continue the line in the other direction. So we want to go this way, so we'll bring this track. Okay. I don't know why the game does that sometimes. Look, what's going on? It must be a piece of... How strange. Okay. We'll try deleting you, and then we'll... Like, what was that about? Nobody knows. Look at the packs here. Oh, yeah. You're going to get on our train, baby, for sure. Let's drag that out like that. And then we shall bring this into here. Now, how do we want to do this? We're going to want to carry on through. So we could just drop into one platform again with one line and let the other one continue, in which case we shall do this. And then we'll drag that out like that. Okay, that's good. Ooh, the Sherpa. And look at this. Look at that passenger bus. Extra capacity. Signals, we'll drop that in. That'll space it out for us. And then it'll suddenly stop for no reason. Okay, I don't know why it stopped there, but we'll carry on afterwards. You seem to think that was an intersection, but it wasn't. Come back the other way. It's done the same again coming back. Even though that track doesn't intersect with anything here, it kind of didn't like signaling past it, which is interesting. You definitely got to check everything, you know? It will just do weird things sometimes. Okay. That's good. We've got in here, in there. We shall put a depot down. Where do we want to put the depot? I think we'll drop the depot next to this industry. The inside track like that. We'll merge it in here. And then we will need a signal just before the join, and then that's fine for just after. Okay, so now we've got Bradford to Lee. I think this one is going to do pretty well, actually. Bradford, Lee, packs. Where have you gone? Bradford, Lee, packs. There we go. Because right now, that's a pretty overused bus route, and I reckon this is going to do pretty well. Right. Add station. I'm going to go from there to here. Purple's no good because we've already used it. Even with this mod that brings lots of extra colours, even with that, there's not enough colours. Just not enough colours to go around. So, we'll do the same thing. We'll bring in one of the CLEs, as it were, and we'll bring that in there. And then Bradford Lee Packs is like an orange colour. And we'll assign the line. There's plenty of packs stood here that are trying to go from Lee to Romsey. Which is, you know, there's not a lot we can do about that from a train perspective. There's no way this is ever going to link to that. But it is demonstrating that these vehicles are nowhere near enough. But what we can do is replace them with these, either these or these now. Both of them will do 80Ks. Given the capacity that's going on here, I would suggest we just go straight in there. Let's give it a darker colour. And then we'll perhaps... What have we got? 5. Yeah, let's just double it to 10. I reckon the capacity's there. Because we can't ever create a train line. We could, but it's just not worth the hassle of having another train station, you know. Let's just focus on bringing people in over this way. But first, we'll do the Mitcheldean run. Let's have a quick look back here, see if anything's starting to kick off yet. The answer is no, it's not. Buses are starting to come in with some passengers, so yeah. Beforehand, if there's no train link, you've seen this before, the buses come in with nobody on board because they have no reason to go here as a destination. I'm just going to speed this up. But now, hopefully, there we go. So people are now getting off the bus and they're physically walking to the station because they know there's going to be a train. Speaking of trains, what we'll do is we'll just drop another one in. Now this one's on its way back. We'll wait till it's getting like halfway back and then we'll drop another one in. Just so that we've got, you know, two opposing ends of the line. And then as the line establishes, we'll pick up the capacity or the speed, depending on how popular the line turns out to be. So yeah, we'll just drop another one in now. That'll take care of that. While that's kicking off, let's go and have a look and extend it up to Mitcheldean. So get rid of this road because we don't need this. So the line's going to go around, we go around this industry, I think. Now, I need to be careful because this is the main, excuse me, this is a main line here. So the game will get upset if we delete that because we've got private transport on it. So what we'll have to do, we'll have to effectively give them a free upgrade and then sync the road at the same time. So we now need to pause it so that we can do that. And then we'll get the street and we'll give them like a medium country road. We don't want to make it too quick for them. You know, we want it to be an incentive to get on our train because of our extortionate price. I mean, our, you know, reasonable prices for tickets. We want to offer some value back. So there you go. The value will be you won't get stuck on that slow road. Brilliant. What more could you ask for? Right, let's put that back and then we'll get this. So we were going to come into, let's see. So on the outside, yeah, this one. So we'll grab that and we'll head off in this direction. Let's put that there and see where we're at. So that's a high speed 300. It looks like we're going up some elevation here, which is to be expected. I think that's a reasonable midpoint. And then none of these are being used at the moment. Did we have plans to go Biggleswade direction? I think maybe we did. Or did we have plans to come this way? As to Lee, are we likely to go to Romsey? Possible, but unlikely. Got 2 PAX tracks going on. Actually, no, we've got 3 because that's a PAX as well. So we've got that one, and that one. In that case, we'll use the second one. We'll use that one because I think that's a safe bet. That way, we've got one in reserve to go that way if we need it, and we can send that one on its way. Right. We're going to have to smooth all this out because it looks rather nasty. And we'll get it to about there. Actually, yeah. I mean, you could just do that, to be fair. Because all that really matters is that the train can do this. You know, we'll put that in for completeness sake. It's never going to come into this platform. We're not going to assign it that way. And then we'll basically smooth that out. Like jazz. Smooth jazz. There you go. Lovely. Right, let's get the signalling done, and then we'll put the depot down. So we'll do that there. That should go all the way down the length. A little bit far from there, so I think we'll just drop another one here. There we go. Okay, right. So how do we want to get trains onto this line? That's the question. Well, trains could come into here and then carry on outbound, possibly, if we wanted to. But that depot's going that way. So yeah, we're going to need another depot. So what we'll do is we'll stick it over here. We'll go there somewhere, I think. And then we'll just feed it in about there. Not forgetting the signal before and after the merge, and we're done. So that's that done. Now we've got Lee to Mitcheldean, so we're doing well. We're getting like 3 different lines established so far, which will help them all grow. Mitchell dead? Don't go to Mitchell dead. Right. Lee to Mitcheldean PAX. I think we could probably take a greenish colour. Let's take a darker green for this one. We will go from here to here. Let's just have a look at the platformage. Yep, that looks all good. And we'll do the usual thing. We'll drop in one of these. Lovely. Right, so he's on his merry way. We've got some packs building up here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Lee to Romsey buses. Let's have a look at Lee to Romsey buses. Again, this is the thing that we just replaced all our buses with. So I'm kind of hoping they'll take care of the packs with that extra capacity. If you have a look at these buses, 21 of 21. Yeah, it's still very, very busy. It's such a busy line. But you see the value now of bus lanes. Look at this. If we didn't have bus lanes, we'd have a real problem here. We might have to consider upgrading this road. It's going to be quite painful. But it's a major throughput there. It will have an impact on the population here temporarily. But I can already see this is such a major artery through there. Let's have a look at what the... Yeah, look at that. 350 people. What is going on? It's like 500 down here. It's nuts. We're taking a lot of packs through there. It would benefit us as well if we upgraded that road, I think. Whether it'll let us or not, I don't know. Let's have a look. "13 buildings moved," so that's fine. 11 moved, so they're just getting pushed back. 1 removed, 1 removed. That's not as bad an upgrade as I thought. That was mostly a moving problem. This we can't build because of what's going on here, so what we can do is just spend some money and delete either that one or that one. Somebody's got to go. 500,000 or 600. Let's go with the 600. And then we can put that one back. Okay, that should ease congestion a little bit. But I think we're going to need some more buses still. So we'll drop another 4 on there. That is such a huge capacity. That's screaming for a train line, it really is. Anyway, right, so we've connected Sandhurst, which has now got 53 people, which is good news. We can only carry 20. But we're making a profit. But the line's getting going. 53 people want to go that way. And then 49 people want to come back. Right. Okay, so that's telling me that we can definitely upgrade this. Let's have a look at that train. Let's try and click on the train itself. Let me just see what it does. I want to see what kind of speed it gets to. It's a very flat track, so it should get up to speed very quickly. But I'm wondering, I'm trying to assess what train to put here. What capacity, and that largely depends on what speed we can get to before we run out of track, basically, and have to slow down. So it's got itself to 100. It's not the fastest accelerating thing in the world. Okay, so let's have a look at our options. So we could... That does 125 maximum. It has ridiculously bad tractive power. Compared to that, it's just night and day. But this is a big train. Like, this is quite a high capacity train. Has a great loading speed, so it can get passengers on board really quickly. But its top speed is not amazing. Does that matter on this line? Don't know. We could go down the electric road and we can go, way quicker for the same money. This is like 2 million a year. What was that? That was nearly 2 million, wasn't it? Yeah, 2.2 million running costs, carries 60 people. If I just look at our PAX wagons, the maximum we can go right now is 140. And that's only a 2 times loading speed. So no matter what locomotive we put in right now, we can never go quicker than 140 because the PAX car is limited. So in actual fact, this is a pretty decent bet, I would suggest. So we'll take that. We'll upgrade That will upgrade the capacity on the line and also mean that this thing gets up to speed much quicker. So he's just left that platform and he's almost at top speed. So I think that line will do pretty well. This is the thing that you have to balance. Like, it's not just about the speed of the locomotive, it's the speed of the car. And then you need to look at loading speeds. Loading speeds make a big difference. When you start to get later on and you've got 200-300 people at the platform and you've got one of these high-speed trains coming in, the loading speed makes a significant difference. Because the train will just be sat there trying to wait for all the packs to get on board. So, you know, don't ignore that. And this is people trying to get to the train line, which is this. So I'm going to stick a couple more buses on that, because there's definitely demand here. Right, that is looking nice. Let's have a look at this other one we just put in, which is this one here. So that's got 20 people on board. Bradford lead pack's 39. That's a good number. Coming back, not so high, so I don't think they're ready yet. That number's, I think, starting to come down. Crikey, it's doing well. They're not ready for an upgrade. This line here, 0. That's not good, is it? You know what it is? It's because Numpty here didn't bother to check if people could actually get to the train station. And it turns out they can't. So I'm going to have to fix that now. So what we'll do is we'll have a drop. We'll come the other way. So we'll come back this way. We'll have a drop there because this is a town road. So at some point they will build on this. That'll go that way. Then let's see. We're going to go outbound. We've already got a bus stop there. That's fine. Which way do we want them to go at this point? I think we're going to need some road upgrades, if I'm honest. Just coming through here. I think we're going to need some significant road upgrades. Let's just do that. It may not like some of these. The population loss is real. Okay. So now the bus can go through here. And then it can stop there. Okay, that's fine. Mitcheldean buses. This will be Mitcheldean train backs. And we'll make that a purplish colour. So this one is going to come out of here. And it's going to go this way. Like that. So we've got reasonable connections going on. We're starting to grow this way, and you know we're going to have to move a bus station over here soon. You can see that coming already. But I've already built an outer road, so it already helps. Let's get something like the MANs going. Mitcheldean train packs. Cool, so people can actually get there now, which is definitely a bonus. We have this road here. I'm just thinking we join it up now rather than wait for the pain later. Make sure our roads can, you know, take the capacity, because as the cities get bigger, the traffic starts to grow ridiculously. Once they get up to like 2,000 citizens, you know, there'll be a lot of traffic going on here. Okay, so hopefully people will start appearing there. We'll give that a bit of time and see what happens. Bradford to Lee is definitely starting to kick off. At least from the Bradford perspective. Yeah, that looks like it's getting ready for an upgrade. So I think we'll replace it with that now. Cool. That should take care of that. So now, where do we want to connect to next? Well, we've got Sandhurst, Bradford, Lee and Mitcheldean all PAX train connected, which is fantastic. Romsey is still an issue. We can see there's just so many passengers at Romsey. Do we take that Romsey line out of there? We could bring it into Aylsham. And we could bring Bradford into Romsey. I think that might work quite nicely, you know. It gives passengers a lot of good options. From Romsey, you could, in theory, you could kind of punt out wide and turn in sharply into Thatcham. It could be done, but is it worth it, given that Thatcham's already connected that way? I don't know. I don't know if it is. But to make this work, we're going to have to sink this road. So let me just pause it, because we have to do some major construction work here. Because I've got to... might have to relocate that depot. We're going to have to sink this road. We want a town type thing, and then we want to go down like that. Is that enough? That would allow the train line to elevate over here. It is cutting it fine. I think what we'll do is we'll just knock that back a touch more, and then we can get a bit more of a run at it. Okay, that should do. Then we'll change that to that, like so. Okay, that fixes the line there. Let's just smooth that out. And then we just want to make sure that this remains connected in some capacity. We can see the town starting to expand this way. The train line's going to come through here shortly, though. So I think what we'll do is we'll make this a buildable, from a town perspective, road, like that. Yeah, let's do that. And I think that should do it. Yep, that looks good. So we'll unpause it. That gives us a bit more of a run-up to elevate out of here. Obviously, we can't do much about this track, as we've said before, but I reckon we can now get down... let's see, Romsey, we can get down to Bradford. Which way do we want to go, though? That's the real question. And also, we're going to have to come through this, haven't we? Oh, man. Can we go through there? But then we'll have to go through the road. But that's fine, we can sink the road. It's a bit of a snake, isn't it, this thing? A bit of a mess. I think we might have to just elevate over the top of that track and just go that way. It's going to look kind of interesting anyway. Crazy times trying to link Romsey. Right, so what we'll do is we'll start off with... let's see. A line? Yes. We'll start off by building this, and then we'll take the end of it. So we click that little arrow at the end, and we can start to elevate the end like that. But obviously, the more we elevate, the worse it gets. So if I hold on the shift key, we can kind of come up gradually. Now, the longer we make this run, the more gradual... What the heck are you doing here? The more gradual the elevation will be, the gradient, as they call it. What on earth? Seriously, game? Come on. You're better than this. At some point it's just going to snap into that track, isn't it? So, you know, it depends whether you care about aesthetics or not, because if you look, like at this height here, the bridge is just about above the catenary lines. But this, you know, it's quite a gradient going on here. Really is quite a gradient. And does it need to climb this high? Not really, because once it's cleared this track... So, you know, perhaps if we kind of bring it back like that, and then just elevate it the amount we need to, which is a bit lower than that. If we bring it down here. What's that looking like? So that's kind of just about starting to clip, so we might have to just go up a touch. Then we'll bring it back a bit more, so that we're only elevating as much as we need to, because the train's going to have to work hard coming over there. The next thing we want to do is change it to that, and then basically the last step is to just make sure we're going in the right direction. So if we come into Bradford, actually, where we want to go first? We could go to Aylsham first. No, we'll go to Bradford first. To come to Bradford, we need to probably come through here and punch in this direction. So I reckon we want to come about there-ish. In which case, we'll take a little swing to the left. And we'll just double check. Elevations are good. Probably needs to go up a touch. I think that's about right. Okay, let's build that. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a massive elevation, but it's enough to make a difference to the train. So now what we've got to do is we'll basically build back this way because we know we've got to elevate over here as well now. So we'll come in from this direction now. We'll nick that track there. And then we'll branch off like this. Now, I can already see the ground is having to elevate, which is interesting because we know we need to elevate anyway, so that's kind of good news. So what we can do now is just keep that elevation going a little bit. Change the bridge style. With a bit of luck and a fair wind, we might be able to get over here. Hey presto, look at that. Is it high enough? Not really. Almost, but not really. So we might want to just... Okay. If we come back a little bit on that. And keep the gradient going up. So we'll build over there like that. Just knock it up a touch more. Okay, that's not clipping the wires. It looks okay. So we'll go with that. Is it going in the right direction? Yes, it is. Build it. And now we should be able to go all the way over here and link those two things together. And then look out for the bridge icons. Make sure you're getting the bridge you want. And that creates an absolutely insane track, which kind of looks cool. And later on, we might want to make this into a high speed. But yeah, it costs a lot of money, 13.6 million, but it looks wicked cool. And sometimes in this game, you know, when you get to this point, well, you've just, look, guys, we're just past $1 billion, by the way. So we've achieved one of the objectives of this whole series. And I didn't even notice. Let me just slow the game down. 1.1 billion. You can ignore the number now because we are going to make silly money. We've got so many profitable lines, that money's going to keep going up. It's very unlikely to come down. No, the series is not ending, by the way. We've got a lot more work to do, so don't worry about that. We've reached one objective, which is $1 billion. We've also connected the cities, which was another objective. But, you know, until these cities are a good size, I don't consider this playthrough to be done. So don't worry about that anymore. The main thing is, when you get to this point in proceedings, you can have fun with it because you're making so much money. You can do wicked, crazy things. Like, I built a high-speed Japanese rail line pretty much across the map, and it went... I deliberately elevated it between two mountains, and it looked... You get on it first person, take a ride on it, and it's so much fun. It's so cool, but it doesn't make that much financial sense. But who cares about that? I just noticed there's a train in there. Which means we've run out of platforms. I thought we had a spare platform. We don't. My bad. Let me just stick another... We can't go into that track because there was already one more. Ah, it's done that thing again. It's done that thing where if you configure the station while there's trains in there, they get really confused, so we just need to tell him to turn around. Reverse. There he goes. Are you confused as well? I bet you are. No path electric. There you go. What about you? No path. Reverse. Off you go. Isn't it weird? When there's trains in the station, you reconfigure it, it gets awfully confused sometimes. Actually, we could have kept that going. I think we'll do it this way. We'll just send him into the other platform. Lovely. Now we just need to be careful here because, as we've seen before when building bridges, the game can sometimes do stupid things when you try to build a track next to another one. So my advice is just do it in pieces. And just check as you're going along. There we go. It's looking okay. Okay. Signals. Done. All the way down there. Trust me, without that signal mod, it is such a pain doing this stuff. It makes it so much easier. It should be in the base game. It really, it's one of those quality of life things that should be in the base game. Right, the British Aerospace 146, 1978. Ooh, retro. Very nice. Right, okay, there we go. We've got that wonderful, probably the most exotic line we've built so far in terms of cash spending. It's right up there in the unnecessary spending bracket. Now we need to figure out how we're going to get trains on this line. We could... So just looking at this, I'm kind of thinking... Let's get him out of here a second. We might as well just bring this in on the same diamond interchange and it just looks a lot better. And then we can actually feed trains in from the same depot. They can just go straight through. So we don't need to build another depot. So we'll just trash that a second. Build that through like that. Is this enough space? Yes. Double check the line. It's all good. Unpause. Lovely. Right, so now we just need to get a line established between what? Bradford and Romsey. Look how that is a long way. We need to think about the speed of this. I think we'll just go straight in with the higher capacity ones. Bradford, Romsey, Pax. Color. Pink? Maybe? Why not? That to there. Fantastic. Yeah, now that's quite a long journey, so you definitely want the capacity on that. But yet again, I think, we could push it to 140 maybe. Actually, what did we say? I think it was 120, the cargo. No, 140. All right, let's do this. Let's be different. We can afford it. There's no point buying anything that does 200. This guy does 140. 260 tractive. Yeah, let's build one of them. Let's see, 60 capacity. Excellent. It is on a bit of a climb. Probably at least a medium climb, so I think we'll leave them as 3 cars for now anyway. I think we did it as pink, wasn't it? There we go. Cool, let's have a look. Here he comes. We've got the PAX linkage here, so we can definitely get people to this one. I was just going to double check Romsey. We've definitely got PAX linkages there as well. Romsey's grown a lot though, which means looking at this, I think we might have to start working on the bus routing around Romsey. It does look like it's grown a lot. That looks great. Okay. Let's quickly review where we are. We've got... Well, it's breaking even. It's not, milking the money yet, but it's breaking even. It's making passengers move around. I mean, let's face it, right? Before we did this, Sandhurst couldn't get anywhere. Like, their citizens were landlocked. In fact, they literally are. Look, they're surrounded by water. They're completely locked out. We've given them a new lease of life. They're cruising. Target population 1154. Because they can now travel. They're loving it. Bradford-on-Avon. 1,600 people now live in Bradford-on-Avon. Which is fantastic. What have they got? Bradford Romsey packs. That's losing money initially, but that'll change. Bradford to Lee. Made a bit of money, lost money. Not sure why. Is the demand low? Demand is definitely there. And then you got Lee to Mitcheldean, which doesn't seem to have a terrific demand. But at least we're starting to move people around now. Actually, there's pretty good demand there. Look at that. That's pretty good demand coming out of Lee. I think we'll replace that already. We'll stick 2 of them. And I think, you know, Mitcheldean's prospects, look, 1369 target population. So the fact that public transport is like boosting 130, look at this, 4,400. Killing it, guys. Absolutely killing it. Meanwhile, in terms of what we did last episode, we've got goods down here. Our steel factory is leveled up at least once. It looks like it's got a shortage of coal going on. Yep, I can see there is a massive shortage of coal, so we'll add another coal train into that. And we'll have a look at the ore situation. That's already got 2 trains on it, so don't need a third yet. I think that was a bit starved of coal. So that should sort that out. And then up here, we have a... And I did mention this at the start of the video. We have a problem with crude now. We just don't have enough vehicles to move things around. Now, we're gonna saturate that line shortly because there'll be too many vehicles that are able to sit and load. And at that point, we may have to think about changing it to a train. I think that is just about coping, but it's on level 3, which makes me think it's time to bring in that extra line. Meanwhile, the plastic line is just gone bonkers. So we're going to chuck a whole load of cars on trucks on that. That's going to move it all to here. Yeah, everything's kicking off, guys. We have 100% run out of time. That has been a long episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourself, though. And we've done wonders for the pack situation in our map. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Happy transporting.